Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for the issue we're about to look at. Uncanny X-Men 162 from 1982. Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum with Bob Wyachek doing the creative duties. Um, Dave Cockrum has two issues left after this, so his last issue will be 164 before Paul Smith takes over for a year, and then John Romita comes in full time until the beginning of the Mutant Massacre. So we're reaching kind of that middle. I wouldn't even say if it's middle. Chris Claremont still has about another 100 issues or so left. So, um, good cover here. This is sort of a Wolverine solo story, not quite, but kind of getting in there. We see kind of Wolverine here with this brood. It's not too bad of a cover here. Um, how I was introduced to this issue was through X-Men Classic in 1991, which I think is a much better cover, by the way. This cover is by Mike Mignola, or Mignola, as uh, just depends how. Look at all the blacks. Oh, it's a beautiful cover. So, Beyond the Farthest Stars, here is our um, credits here. So this story is done in first person by Wolverine. So I'm Wolverine, and unfortunately, he doesn't say I'm the best there is at what I do, but um, that'll come here. So I'm a long way from home, and I think I'm dying. That's good news to some. I'm crazy. You see, a berserker, a psycho killer. That's fact, not truth. The whole truth. Anyway, I'm a Canadian ex Secret Service, mutant X-Men. I'm a warrior. I'm on the run, but I'm used to that. The important thing is I'm free. So you can see his kind of in a weird looking planet thingy here. So we're gonna find out if we're gonna fill in the gaps as we're going through here. Jungle's alien, like the whole flaming planet. Too many unknowns, scents, sights, sounds. Normally, I'd sort 'em all out. No sweat. I've been trying, but I can't. My brain's overloaded. It can't handle the sensory input. I can't get my bearings, so I keep moving, and I hope things get better. Fat chance. So, weird looking little bird here, but. And so he screams here, and he thinks here, pain, again, getting worse. Each time feels like I'm being gutted by a white hot blade. And so suddenly he's attacked by this plant creature here. Cripes! And it throws some kind of thing at here. Sucker gasses me, then tries to crush me. Mistake. My skeleton's laced with adamantium, the strongest metal known. My bones don't break. I have claws too, retractable, housed in my forearms, extended through apertures in my hands, forged out of the same stuff, and I know how to use them. So, good seeing Wolverine narrating here. I win, big deal. And then he's like, "What's happening, me? Color so bright, pollen, a hallucinogen, can't resist its effects here." And so you see that demonstrated with these little ticks here. So, um, a shake of the head, and I'm back in Japan, my second home, wondering what's real, what's fantasy. I can't tell anymore. I'm drowning, and I don't care. By my side is Mariko Yoshida. I love her. She loves me. Life's full of surprises. You smile, Logan-san, and this is, of course, from Japanese. And he says, merely thinking how in this is such a big word for him. He's in it's too big for me. That's how I know it's too big for him. In Congress, we look. You must admit, we're a mismatched pair. And Mariko says here, I admit nothing of the sort. You're an honorable man, Logan, with the soul and inner grace of a true samurai. No woman could ask for more, she says here. That's a rare, fine compliment, Mariko. I thank you. And they give a kiss. It is the truth. If anyone is unworthy, it is I, who lack your courage and strength. And she's like, and Wolverine's like, now look who's blowing smoke. You're the bravest woman I know, he says. It's getting late, Mariko. We better head back. And he goes, look, Eagle's heading our way. And Wolverine's like, awful big sucker. Something about him doesn't feel quite kosher, he thinks here. There's no cover on the ridge. We're perfect targets. Logan, what? And he slaps the horse to get him going. Head for the tree line. I'll explain it later. Ride, Mariko. And so suddenly he's being attacked by the brood here, whom I'm not a big fan of their design. I think the brood are fine, but this insectoid design, their take on aliens, I just don't think it works. If I'm being honest, I don't know about you guys. I know somebody may think that, oh, this is awesome. I don't like this. It, to me, they don't seem I don't know. It just doesn't seem right with them holding, like, they're a higher function, but they're like in this I don't know. But I get it that they wanted to do something similar to Aliens, and this is what they came up with, or Alien, because I don't think Alien had come out yet. But to me, the brood doesn't work. Although I think we see Claremont do one more chance, and I think that one worked better. I think it's in issue 233, which we will eventually get to. So the Brood says, you have provided us with a splendid hunt, Terran, but alas, all good things must eventually come to an end. And so they fire and kill Mariko and her horse. And Wolverine yells out her name, and he realizes it was a dream. Brood hunters, they found me. Fool, did you really think that we would not? You are one of us, Wolverine. No one can help you, and nothing save you. And Wolverine thinks here, and their blasters are set for stun. I caught a shot not long ago. I'd rather be dead. The undergrowth works in my favor. It slows the hunters down, cripples their maneuverability, but this is their turf. They know it. I don't. And so this one says, to me, my brothers, I have him, and they shoot at Wolverine again. I hate to tell you, bub, but those come under the heading of famous last words. So Wolverine goes and attacks it here. And Wolverine continues narrating here. The Sleazoids, the Brood, are fast and strong, as agile on the ground as in the air. Their skin is a virtual armor plate. Their teeth are razor sharp, and their tail stingers are loaded with venom. Killing comes natural to them, and they've refined it to an art. No deadlier being exists in the universe. So you hear that, but then you look at them. It just looks so silly, and then especially holding the gun. The execution, I think the idea Claremont had was great or good, but the execution of perhaps, and I'm not going to completely blame Cockrum on it, because I'm sure that this is what Claremont sort of probably described to him, but Cockrum should have said, that doesn't work. Or maybe they thought, I mean, I know it's 1982, but it just, I would love to see the Brood redesigned a little bit more badass, probably a little bit more humanoid, or even humanoid insect-like combination creature type thing. So I don't know. And so we continue here. Except maybe me. The hunter's call brings his buddies on the double. After that, things get interesting here. So you see Wolverine fighting. I'm holding my own and better when, without warning, the ground collapsing beneath me, he says. I'm fallen. A stun bolt clips me on the way down. By the time I recover, I'm moving too fast to stop myself, but I try all the same. You never know. A body might get lucky. Something might work. Wrong. And so he keeps falling here. Like I said, I'm a mutant. My body has the ability to heal itself fast. I can survive almost any physical trauma, but a tumble from this height may be a bit much, even for me. What the flamin'? I hit hard. There's a split second of incredible pain, so he lands on this web. Then oblivion here. So here we can see that Wolverine lands, and I'll make it a little bit bigger here so you can see. This little thing is kind of in the um on the way here. So let me see here if it shows. So right here. So this is where Wolverine is at here. So it says, I'm alive. I've ditched the hunters. Things could be worse. It's a feeble joke. I don't laugh. When you're condemned to hell, does it really matter whether the flames that burn you are 1,000,000 degrees hot or 1,000,000,000? Either way, it hurts. Okay, I survived. Hooray for me. That's the least of my problems. In the jungle at night, I never got a decent look at where I was. Dawn changes that, and the sight takes my breath away. A skeleton, stretching farther than the eye can see, well over the horizon, its ribs reaching above in the breathable planetary atmosphere. So, this is the creature that the Brood use, and you can see that it's died, that it's landed here, and these are like its ribs and what's left here, and you can see that the Brood have I don't know how the Brood build these things. They don't have hands. Do they? I don't know. This had been one of the Brood's living starships, a sentient being enslaved, lobotomized, consumed by these wedged parasites. It had died here ages ago, and the Brood had made use of its carcass as they had its body. While it lived, the natural flora and fauna of the world were trying to claim it, as they would any corpse, though the natural process of decay, but it was too big. Eternity wouldn't be long enough to crumble it to dust. So, again, it's the idea of the Brood isn't bad. Again, I think it's just I would have liked to have seen it drawn differently, but I digress. And so this Brood here says, Hunt Master, should we pursue? And how you can tell them apart is each one has a different little design on their heads. To what end, Novus? If the fall did not terminate our prey, the scavengers will. But he hosts a queen. The Great Mother will surely desire confirmation of his death. And we continue here. The way is open, novice. Wolverine's trail, easy to follow. You may do so if you wish. We will convey our condolences to your progeny. I'm not afraid, Huntsmaster. The ignorant rarely are. Sacrifice your life if you wish. We will return to base. So, I hear movements, feel vibrations in the web. I can guess what that means. Of course, here come these spider creatures. I can't see the two of them sharing, so I would imagine the bigger one would kill the smaller one. The web spinners are coming to investigate their catch. I'm glued in place. Shouldn't have been too much to handle, though. I've got some freedom of movement. I'll pop my claws and cut myself loose. Wish my head would clear. It's muzzy. It's an effort to think, and now it's pounding fit to bust. No. Not again, not here. He starts to in pain here. So I blink, and the web becomes the starship Zrishar, personal yacht of Lilandra, Empress of the Shi'ar. So now we're picking up where we left off. The X-Men had rescued her from the Brood. Foe de coup d'etat against her, led by her renegade sister Deathbird, and in the process saved the Earth from destruction. I have a playlist. I should have started with that. So feel free to check it out. I have the X-Men covered in reading order. So, To show her appreciation, Lil invited us aboard her yacht for a banquet. Part celebration, part farewell. She was returning home and wanted to thank us. Me, Carol Danvers, Cyclops Storms, Colossus Nightcrawler, and Kitty Pryde. So we wondered why his uniform. Well, because he's wearing this thing. Colossus wasn't really in the mood for a party on account of his sister Eliana. Pity, what's done is done. Mopin won't change anything. It certainly won't make Eliana a child again. I know, Wolverine, but it is a hard reality to face. So that was an XMen 160, which, again, we have covered. Much aboard our battle with the Demon Lord Belasco is difficult to cope with, not the least of which was my confrontation with my older self, thinks Storm. That Storm was a sorceress. So we're getting basically a little explanation of what happened here. So here, Deathbird shows up. Behold, fools, Lalanda, majestic Shiar is no more. Long live the new Empress, me. And so here, the X-Men are taken out here. A trap. We tried to react, but a stasis bomb ended the fight as soon as it had begun. So, I came awake in pieces. A sense of self-awareness scrambled, confused, followed by a jumble of goobly-goop sounds. That's something. I was flooded by a multitude of scents. They made me sick. Last came sight, blurred, bizarre images shot through the blinding flashes of color. Nothing made sense then, as I struggled to regain my psychic balance. Everything clicked into focus here. So, of course, he sees the Brood. And we're Brood prisoners, but you can see they're not seeing it because, look, he's smiling here, and Cyclops is smiling. And Wolverine's continues here. The others didn't seem to mind. They were enjoying themselves. An instant later, I saw why. Welcome, honored heroes, to the throne world of the Shi'ar. So they're seeing, there's an illusion being created here. My intellect accepted this as a reality. My senses screened fantasy. Normally, I trust my instincts every time, but I couldn't keep my bearings. One thought contradicted another, and the harder I tried to sort things out, the more disoriented I became. Care to dance, Logan, hey? Are you alright? Carol, something screwy. This isn't what it seems. We're being conned, set up. Sure we are, Wolvie. I think you're getting paranoid in your old age. Relax, have fun, enjoy the party, says Miss Marvel here. And, pardon our intrusion, warriors, but we understand that your physiology, Carol Danvers, is dissimilar to that of your comrades. I'm not a mutant, if that's what you mean, she says. Precisely. Our preliminary data scans on you are most intriguing. My colleague and I would like to examine you further. Now, okay, Carol, says Wolverine. You can see here that these are actually Brood. So, but Wolverine can tell, but they can't. This is crazy. Those winged clowns are sleazoids. Fight him, Carol. It's a trick. No good. She's acting like everything's normal. What's happening to me? Have I finally flipped out? Wolverine, what is wrong? Why did you call out like that to Carol? Storm, guys, don't you see? No, I guess not. I guess it's all in my mind, he says. So, the others were very nice, considerate, concerned. I brushed them away. I was so scared. I could barely keep from shaking. I thought I'd put the dark times behind me. We were taken before Lil for our awards. And so you can see everybody has this Brood wings here. Beside her on the dais was a tall, weird-looking doll. At first sight, I went ice cold. Supernally calm. My automatic reaction to combat situation. We were in danger. Why was I the only one who noticed? One of the things that I'm trying to remember from the previous issue is that it mostly dealt with Professor Xavier coming too. So why wasn't Professor Xavier in the party? Wouldn't he have wanted to be with Lilandra to say goodbye? I don't think that was ever explain. He just wasn't there. So, which is weird because him and Lalandra are an item. So here we got Kitty Pryde here. She greeted each of us in turn with a fond embrace. The ceremony went without a hitch. Suddenly, Kitty says no, until it was Kitty's turn. Come unto me, child. There is not to fear. No, this is not real. This isn't possible. X-Men, help me. I can't phase. Don't let her get me. Logan, the kid struggled to no avail. I heard her screams, wanted to act, but I couldn't. I couldn't. Some power held me fast. Hush, small one. Look into my eyes. Hear my voice. Am I truly so terrible to behold? And she's like, no, please. Daughter, it is done. It was my turn. I was the bird. She the cobra. I knew she was death, and worse, I knew I had to escape. Stop her somehow. I was close. We were alone on the dais. I couldn't use my claws, but I did nothing. And then it was too late. So here you can see uh coming out of their mouth, injecting him again. I know that this was supposed to be like an aliens in this case because they would come, but it doesn't work for me. um it just doesn't work for me. If I had to, I would redesign it, and um it just, like I said, it doesn't work for me. I do love the lettering here. I love the how he screams, and it just like liquid here coming out here. This is actually a beautiful panel and beautiful lettering there. My scream wakes me, memories washing through me like a scummy shame trigger rage. I need an outlet for that rage. I get one. Scavengers looking for lunch. So they find a bit more than they bargained for, and Sir Wolverine takes out his claws and off he goes. Good panel there. And so I let my berserker mood sweep me along. The X Men have never seen me like this. Part of me hopes they never will. I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice. There we go. I love it. So this is where he first says his line here. Soon, though, my rage and its adrenaline high begin to fade, my cue to make my exit. The scavs have lost interest in me. As a meal, I'm not worth the effort, especially when they can then turn on their own wounded and dead. Cute. So now Wolverine's gonna try and get away here. I'm gonna kind of skip over a little bit just because of time constraints, but basically Wolverine is just trying to escape, and you can see him just worn out and kind of goes there to take a rest here. And so, of course, now he begins again with the hallucinations here. You can tell again because of the way the panels are being drawn. So, anytime you see this, it's a dream. Or maybe not a dream, perhaps, but just kind of going back. So he wakes up after what happened to the Brood. So this is Wolverine waking up, and of course now he sees everything here. He's seeing here. So he tries to wake up Storm, and she's like, "I don't feel well. Summon a physician here," and sorry, that she doesn't think Wolverine's feeling well, and that she's gonna summon a physician. But then he does like the pinch nerve, the Vulcan thing that Spock does to get people to knock her down, and so he goes to Kitty, and you can see here he gives her a kiss there, and he says, "Don't fret, I'll be back. We'll get out of this mess and come home safe and sound. You got my word." So now he sees one of the Imperial Guard, the Fang, and Wolverine actually wore this during when he took down Fang during the Dave Cockrum early John Byrne era, and like I said, I do have a playlist here, and he was one of the ones that was against Lalandra, and he was pleading, and they weren't having it of it. It says here, Fang's body began to smoke. He shrieked, and you can see him here, and he says, "Why are you doing this? My mistress Deathbird is your ally." And this one says, "The Brood needs no allies, Outworlder. We are only enemies and slaves. We use Deathbirds as we now use you." The embryo of a warrior prime was implanted within you. That egg has now reached maturity. It is hatching. It will consume you, Fang, transform you, and in the process absorb the totality of your memories, of your abilities, your genetic potential. Farewell, ally. You gave your life for the noblest of reasons, that one of the Brood might be born. And Wolverine yells, "No!" And so an intruder, one of the X-Men, sees him. The chase was on. So here we are now. After all that, we're finally now all caught up to everything. So Wolverine wakes up here. And so this is the one that used to be Fang. He's the one that went to recognize him, or to go after him after they told him not to. So Wolverine says he'll help me get there to where I need to go. And he jumps and lands on him, and he tries to get him with the stingers, but it doesn't work. And of course, he takes out his claws and says, "Cooperate or I'll gut you." And so he does what he says. And so it says here, "Your fate is sealed, humans. So is yours if you don't shut up." But he gets that thing again with, the old Fang tosses him, and he lands there, and they're like, "Wolverine, how nice of you to drop in. Take him, hunters, but if he resists, kill him." And so you see here, they do their best, and Wolverine eventually takes them and says, "I do better." And you can see that he goes again. He's in pain. We'll see why in just a moment here. And it's because he had a Brood inside him as well. But because of his powers, it basically doesn't it gets rid of it like any disease here. So it doesn't work here. So you lose, Queen. I'm alive. Your kid isn't. So here we get the explanation. You can see here that he almost turned into a Brood here. So Wolverine learns, of course, that's why he wasn't feeling very well. And he realizes that the X-Men are also infected. And Wolverine here says they're infected too. Only way I can't save them the way I did myself. For all I know, I may already be too late. Their metamorphosis may have already taken place. I remember my hallucination about killing Kitty. If I have to, if she can't be cured, I'll do it. I'll kill them all, my friends. Then it'll be the Sleazoid's turn. And so next issue, rescue mission. So pretty good issue here. Dave Cockrum kind of doing his little swan song as the end of his second run is coming to an end here. So we'll end it here. Uncanny X-Men number 162. Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum, Bob Wycheck. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.